We'll begin if everyone's ready there. Is everyone ready?
I don't see the name of the presenter in our attendees. If you're presenting for 44 King, could you kindly raise your hand? All right, well, the presenter that we have on the spreadsheet is somebody named Ili Fretur, who is not here, nor has anyone raised a hand. So
just move along down the street to 29 King Street and we'll come back.
All right, Eric Worcester, who is the presenter, is here. So I'm going to promote him to panelist.
Okay, we'll
right, Eric, I'm promoting you to panelist, so you should be able to screen share and join us. Thank you.
Okay.
Excuse me 1 second, Chenault. There's also somebody called Rex Lalire who has his hand up. Eric, is Rex part of your presentation? You're muted, Eric.
No.
Well, perhaps.
Did you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good.
Now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Well, we will start with 29 King Street. Chenault, who's the chair, will begin the meeting. I'm Susan. I'm the vice chair. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Okay, everything's ready there then?
Yes, we're good to go.
We'll begin.
Okay.
This is Community Board 2, Manhattan, the Landmarks Committee, the second meeting for January of this year. I'll just give briefly, we have a lot of new people tonight. We hear the applications. We have questions and comments from the committee, then from the board, then from guests, and then from the public. And when all of the applications have been heard, we will then have a business meeting to form the resolutions, and the public and anyone else is welcome to stay for that, but only the members of the committee can speak, and the board members will be invited to speak at the beginning. We're moving to the second application. Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing. Number 20 King Street, if anyone from the public is here for it, it's been withdrawn, and it's not clear whether it's coming back or not. So keep alert on the community board website. 29 King Street. The application is to add operable glass doors to an existing rear yard glass canopy. Okay, if you'd begin, sir.
Okay, good. I've just shared the screen and
Fine, yes.
Can we see it? Okay, great. Okay. Yes, the proposed project is it's enclosing a rear yard canopy, an existing rear yard canopy with operable glass doors. And the canopy is currently existing in an open space of the rear yard of 29 King Street. And we can see an elevation of the block in this first slide. And you can see that it's a 4-story brick building from the facade. It also has a penthouse at the top, which isn't visible from the street. So going on to the next slide, and we can see, and also we can see that it's, in the Charlton King Vandam Historic District. What's that?
Sorry, we're trying to help somebody else log in.
Oh, okay. I'll keep going. All right.
Turn your sound up.
That's what we're trying to do.
So here we have photographs from the 40s. These are tax map photos of the building. And then there's a current photo of the street facade. Here we have a block plan, and in the building in the middle, in purple, that's the building in question, and you can see the existing canopy kind of like off to the left on the northwest corner of the building. So it's attached to the building and occupies space in the open in the rear yard. Zooming in here on the plan and also a rooftop view, we can see where the existing canopy is, and photos at the bottom give you a kind of panoramic view of the existing conditions surrounding the open space. The existing roof plan is, as shown, 15 feet 6 wide, 12 feet 4 in depth. It has a footprint of about 191 square feet. And the drawing number 2 on the right shows the owner's rear yard, and the amenities in the rear yard, and then the canopy, and then the floor plan of his apartment. So for the proposed canopy, we would have, as shown in drawing 2, 6 bifold doors on the north facade of the canopy. On the west, 3 sliding doors, and on the east, 3 bifold doors. These are all glass doors, glass and aluminum doors. Here we have the existing rear elevation of the back. The existing elevation is repeated here a little closer, and next to it is the proposed elevation. This is showing the 6 bifold doors. Here are sections. The canopy itself is 7 feet 7 at its lowest point. It has a rise of 2 feet when it comes back and meets the building. And in terms of the materials, it's aluminum, anodized aluminum, about 2.25 inches in thickness.
Sir, you're a little muted and looking away from the microphone. Can you?
I'm sorry.
Somehow yourself?
Okay. And it's double paned glass, tempered in this case. And we have an existing photo of the structure in place, just the canopy. And then rendering number 2 shows a rendering of the proposed operable glass doors. And that's the presentation.
Okay, thank you. I see something at the right-hand side of the picture. Is that just a frame that holds it up, or is that not related to it? The black L shape behind it supports.
Do you mean the let me just
it's with a bush behind it at the right hand.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's all that's the vegetation. In the rendering, I just kept with the vegetation that was there.
Oh, so nothing exists except the roof and the 2 poles.
Exactly, yes. Right.
Thank you. I don't have questions if the committee would like to speak.
I don't have any questions. Does anybody?
No.
Anita? No? Brian, I see you're here remotely. Do you have any questions?
No, I had studied this before the meeting, so I don't have anything. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. All right, we'll go to the public. Is there anybody from the public who'd like to speak? If so, please raise your hand. All right. There's no raised hands, so we will thank the applicant and move on. We've received a message from 29 King. They are here. The name that we were given for the person who would be submitting the proposal was inaccurate. So we'll go back to 29 King Street now.
You mean 44, right?
Sorry, 44.
Yeah, okay, it makes
We'll
sense.
go back to 44. And
I'm wrong.
I will promote Rex Lallier. And Gina Dominique. And once they've joined us, we can go to 29 King.
May I ask a question before you begin?
44 King.
Be clear, of course, from I don't
Hi,
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Thank you.
Before you start, in the building.
we
of-
can't hear
of the
you now.
building, the not in
Hello?
scope,
Hello.
is
Can you hear
that
us?
something that the staff is approving and they're only asking us to see the top floor?
Okay, at least they see we're here. We
Yes,
we
we
could
can-
hear you, but we could not see ourselves, and now we can. We've joined the meeting, but we don't hear you. We're not muted.
Oh, never mind.
Do you hear us?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
I'm trying to, but I'm not
Yeah,
on.
we can hear you now. Sorry about all the
Okay.
confusion. Okay.
Go ahead and I'll ask my question later. Thank you.
Gotcha.
So it's a window project that Rex will talk about. There's some drawings and photographs in the slideshow. He'll share the screen.
I'm going to share the screen now. Is everyone ready?
Yep, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, turn that on. This one. Box.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's on this one.
Oh,
Can you see my screen or not?
No.
Nope.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
okay. Click again. Hmm. How about if we go to this screen?
How about now?
No, it would be in a frame.
No, they don't hear anything.
Yeah, they can. I think they can hear us.
Can you hear us still?
Yes, we can hear you.
But no screen share now?
No screen share.
Okay, try again. Click again.
I'm so sorry, people.
Allow Zoom to see your screen. Yes.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so we clicked yes, but it's not sharing.
Is it, you see no screen? All right, do it on yours.
I don't.
Are you clicking the green button that says share?
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
And then it asks him to allow the system to share it, and he clicks yes.
Okay.
And
When you click share, you should see a page with a variety, whatever screens you have open, you click on the one that you're trying to share.
your browser is preventing access. Okay,
That's not us.
I know. Okay, so should we?
How about that?
Do you also have Chrome?
It's
He's
your,
on. He's
is
on
your-
Firefox.
it shouldn't matter.
Okay.
Is your application the same one that was up on the website? Has it changed?
Yeah, no, it should be the same.
It's 12 pages, and it's got two images of 44 King. One is like a drone shot with 44 in red, and the other is of the back windows. It's the top three windows that we are proposing to lengthen. They will end up the same length as the second floor windows if we're
All right.
Yes,
successful.
we've seen it online. We'd
Great.
like to see it screen shared, and our district manager is working on trying to make that happen.
Is this
Thank
44
you.
king or 29 king?
Welcome. You're welcome. 44.
Yeah,
I believe page 5 is the key to the whole thing.
thanks.
So we really apologize for this. I mean, I do this for a living, day in and day out. I don't know what's going on here. This is very unusual.
No worries. We'll make it work.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, that's page 2, I believe.
Do you
Okay.
want us to go through it or go to page 5? I don't know.
No, I was just saying that, but I thought we weren't going to have the whole thing.
Okay.
Please go.
Okay, we can
later.
go to 5.
Okay, so the whole project is now this project has come before you, I think before, if not, there's this thing about the top windows being the only thing to be concerned about, which I don't quite. I've done a lot of landmark projects before, but anyway, there's a whole modification of this rear elevation that has been approved already by landmarks. So I just want that to be sold. So all we're talking about now are the 3 top windows facing.
Then a modification of what was approved.
Yeah, it's funny, when they got it approved before, they didn't even show the top windows, which in my experience is a very odd thing, because usually you have to show the whole building. But so let's go to page 2. And this is just shows you the historic 40s photo of the facade and location. We can keep going. And this is more or less current. They have taken all the paint off the face of this building, and it is now natural brick, and all the repairs have been done that on the main facade. The back facade is actually under construction now on previously approved work.
That paint is also being removed.
Okay, then we go to the next slide. Okay, that's just showing the view out the back, and it's showing the top windows. The air conditioner has already been removed, and we are on these top windows, and we're going to be extending these windows down to make them longer. The width of the masonry openings is going to remain the same. And if we go to the
length will match those.
Okay, so somebody from Landmarks said that we had to block out the work that was done previously, but what you see below has already been approved, which is so all we're going to look for your approval today is the top 3 windows, and that we're removing some masonry below and extending the windows. We're adding muttons. And these windows are the ones that have been pre-approved by Landmark. It's what's that company called? Snowflow or something of that extent. But they're the standard windows that are being used on the whole building. They are going to be a previously approved dark gray charcoal color. And so, any other questions on this?
No, just describe the windows.
The windows are wood windows, double hung, and like they are pre-approved windows by a manufacturer called Snow. What do you know what the name of that is? It's on their drawing. If we go to the next drawing, I think their name might be on it. Yeah, this maybe their name isn't on it.
Excuse me, when you say pre-approved, you mean pre-approved for use elsewhere on that building?
Landmark, it is approved by Landmark as a replacement window.
But not for these, that's why you're here in front of us.
I'm sorry, this type of window.
We need to be clear about what is being asked.
Yeah, you're being asked.
The prior approval was for the same windows throughout, is that correct?
these windows were correct. There was no windows in the rear shown prior. The front windows were shown, and they were the same window fitting in the existing
Okay, so
masonry
this is an initial application for the rear facade work.
for just the 3 windows.
At the top.
And then what occasion the lower level? Is that a prior approval?
Correct.
Okay. So before us is simply whether to choose the left or the right.
That's correct. On the 3 top windows.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's not clear, but I'm glad you made that clear. Okay.
The committee have further questions. I just want to be sure what's before us.
Anita,
What is the finish of the windows? Are they painted or?
Yeah, they're painted a approved landmark gray color that all the windows in the building are going to be the same.
Okay, thank you.
Brian, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So on the details, page 7 and 8, you show the windows and the trim, but these are obviously going to be proposed new windows and new openings. You're going to reframe it. So since that detail doesn't show new framing, I just thought I'd mention that because you seem to indicate that, well, the new framing will match the old framing, but we usually don't leave the framing blank if it's new. You see what I mean?
Right. So the masonry openings are the same width as existing. So we're not replacing any lintels on the top. These drawings are coming from the manufacturer that has approval on these windows as replacements. The overall sight lines on the windows are a half an inch smaller than the existing. And so what you're seeing is a new brick mold on the left. And basically the windows are fitting into the same jamb section as the original.
This whole thing is occasioned by our almost invariable request that the top floor of a modified rear facade of a row house maintain the original window openings to, if you will, harken back to the historic condition. So that's
well, I appreciate that, and I realize that that's super important on the street side, and we are not changing the windows on the street
no,
side.
that's true of the rear as well.
Okay, well, can
And
we
we'll
just
come to
go ahead and look at a couple more slides, because every other, not every, but I'd say 80% of these we're on the left, 44. Everyone else on the whole row has lengthened their windows. In fact, this is a whole addition to the back. And probably these were done, some of them, before this was dedicated landmarks. But we can go around. If you show some more slides, we can look at some more of the rear facing windows here.
That's
So if
something
you look,
we consider, but in essence, we do each building one by one, but we'll take that into consideration that
we appreciate that.
other top floor, but we don't know whether they were approved by the commission or were prior to designation.
Correct. I agree with that. So this is across the on the backside, and you can see there's been many modifications on all these 27, 31, 33, 35. They all had lengthened the top windows.
Yeah, I think we understand the general neighborhood. Are there other questions, or Susan, do you want to go on to others for questions?
Are we done with screens?
Oh, do we have any other
No.
strong? No. Brian, are you good? Any other questions from you?
No, I'm done. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody from the public? If so, please raise a hand. All right, there are no raised hands, so we can thank the applicant and move on. Oh,
Susan, I see that in the question and answer, Gina Dominique has typed in that she's a co-op member and I guess can't be heard or something. I don't know if there's.
This is her.
I believe that we have been speaking with Gina Dominique.
I'm Gina.
Oh, well, okay, I missed
They
that.
were having
Well,
some tech issues, which they've clearly sorted out. All right, I'm glad you sorted out your tech.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for your
No,
presentation.
I want to apologize again for that tech. I don't know how that happened, but got to work on that the next
We
time.
appreciate your
All
time.
right.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. And thanks, Brian, for pointing out the Q&A situation. Okay,
Yeah.
so,
Were there members of the public who wanted to speak?
nope. So we will move on to,
The next application
75th Avenue.
is 75th Avenue to replace the existing terracotta cornice to match the existing detailing with GFRP, which means fiberglass. When you're ready.
all right, I've promoted Drew Hartley. Hi, Drew. And is there anybody else who's presenting with you? Drew.
Yes. Yes, Martha Lane.
Martha Lane. Okay, I'll promote Martha right now. Okay, I've promoted Martha so that there are the two of you. Anybody else?
I think that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Importantly, in the introduction, this is an individual landmark. Okay, thank you.
It is. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, thank you.
All right, fantastic. So 75th Avenue. Yes, it is an individual landmark. So we're going to go over the existing conditions. We're talking about the cornice and its change of materials, proposed change of materials, and then go into some details of how that works. So 75th Avenue is on 13th Street and 5th Avenue. It's just outside of the Greenwich Village Historic District by 1 block, but it is an individual landmark. So not in a district, it is an individual landmark. And we're going to be talking about the cornice line at the top of the building. It's roughly 150 feet above the street. You can see here, this is some detailed shots of the cornice. There has been cracking, and we're in a local law 11 cycle right now and repairing a lot of these details. And that's how this is coming to light. So just a diagram of what is happening is we have a brick parapet wall behind, and there's a terracotta cornice that hangs off of that wall. In the red dashed lines here, it's the anchoring that ties the terracotta back to that wall has deteriorated, and the terracotta is slumping and therefore causing cracks down the facade of the building. So the first question is, how do we fix it? So the cracks coming down the building are really that the terracotta is bearing its weight on the rest of the facade because it's not supported by the parapet wall. The parapet wall is missing a header course as well, so it's really not tied together securely, and everything is just bearing down on the rest of the building. So just going back to the diagram, this is basically a pivot point if you take all the weight of the cornice, and it wants to rotate and load up the facade lower than this. So what we're proposing is, instead of the heavier weight terracotta, to come back with take a mold of all the existing cornice, but replace it in a GFRP panel, which is much lighter in weight. And the backup parapet wall can support that and will no longer transfer its load down to the rest of the facade. So the left-hand side is our existing condition. and on right-hand side is the GFRP panel. So the tiebacks would be replaced. It's lighter material, and it solves some of the issues that we have been having with cracking down the rest of the facade. GFRP has been approved by Landmarks in the past. There's something to note here. The existing terracotta corner, this is not our building, these are just example photos, but the existing terracotta on our building is coated. It's not raw terracotta, and the same coating would be applied to the GFRP replacement. Here's a few examples where GFRP cornices have been replaced or approved by Landmarks previously. And then finally, just to summarize everything, the existing cornice, the brick parapet wall can't support the existing terracotta cornice. However, it can support the alternate material choice that we have presented. And that the alternate material choice eliminates that load transfer down the facade and the cracking that you see throughout the facade. So we'd like to repair the cracks on the rest of the facade, and this will eliminate future cracking.
Thank you. And you're reproducing the design exactly as it is.
Yes, molds will be taken off of the existing materials.
Would you just say again, we're always concerned about the finish, that it's so easy for this to read as something artificial,
Yes.
not textured stone. Could you go more detail about the coating you plan to put on that would solve this?
I can. 1 second, I had some notes on it. So it's a gel coat, but well, actually, let me back up. All of the terracotta on the building, there's other terracotta on this building. The surrounds of the windows further down the building are also terracotta. So it's primarily a brick building with terracotta surrounds around the windows. All of that terracotta has a coating on it currently, and that coating will be replaced. And that coating will also be applied to this, the new cornice. So
Could you define coding?
And will
coating, yes,
it will give the appearance of the original material and will also match the other terracotta on the building.
correct. It is a polyester gel coat. It's UV inhibited, and we can provide, further specifications of that, but we're working with Landmarks on that specific spec.
Okay, thank you. Susan?
For those of us who are at the meeting who are not architects, can you please tell us what GFRP is?
Sure. GFRP is glass fiber reinforced panel. Sorry that for all the acronyms tonight.
Okay.
It is they take a mold of the existing terracotta, but the terracotta is primarily solid or much more solid, and this is a much more hollow, thin-shelled structure, but it recreates the exact profile of the existing terracotta units.
Got it. Thank you. Thanks. Anybody have any questions?
No.
Anita?
Yeah, I just have, maybe it isn't relevant to this, but the terracotta you're saying was coated originally in the field, like a paintbrush type of application? So they glaze and then they coat them with something?
Yeah.
Is that typical?
Martha has been up and close and personal in the building. Originally they were not coated, but over time they were coated to seal some of the cracks that occurred. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. That's it.
No, I went down this road on my building and it's perfectly legitimate thing to do. And at 150 feet from the sidewalk, nobody's going to see the difference. That's for sure.
Because it is up high.
Yeah, I mean, if we're in the second.
And we're
floor-
not patching in pieces
Right.
to a in between, so.
If it were the second floor,
no
we'd
objection.
think
We'll
about
talk.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Brian, you had a question.
Yes, thank you, Susan. On page 13, you have some details of the cornice demolition and the new cornice. You say it's not to scale, but I saw a four course, right above it on 12, you have four
Okay.
courses of brick, and now we're down to three courses. I'm just confused about how relevant this page 13 detail is.
Um, it- the point of it is that a part of the brick parapet wall needs to be rebuilt, just to solidify. The wall is not in great condition either. And the tie back, the way that this panel is tied back to that parapet wall is different than the masonry anchors that were used for the terracotta units. So it's just a different anchoring system than existing.
What happened to the fourth course?
I believe there should be a fourth course. It would be inboard on the roof side. This was
Okay.
my first drawing. The other one was the structural engineers, and I want to say the structural engineer is correct, but I'm looking at it from the exterior. The new white the brick would be building to the original profile. So if I am missing a white, it's the one white interior roof side. But this is accurate to the terracotta and to the aligned with the limestone directly below that.
Okay, well, and just curiosity is what do those anchors look like?
Which, to the new or to the old?
To the new?
It is a steel framing, like
With
I'm not
these,
using the right word. The frame, stud framing is built up, and once we have shop drawings from the panel caster, that could be better defined, but this is typically how it would be done, that it gets fastened back into the masonry and built out to the profile.
So the anchors is what he's asking about. The anchor to the masonry.
You mean the metal, the wall,
Yeah.
the brick wall ties that you're seeing?
Yeah,
Oh, those are just like a Holman Bernard wall tie, like a 10H HW, I think they are.
16 on center.
Yes, just a standard masonry tie.
And then the SA rubberized asphalt flashing. So obviously, well, maybe not obvious. There seems like there's going to be holes or there's going to be those anchors attached to the new cornice pieces. And then somehow you're flashing, and I'm wondering how you seal up the holes to protect the wall below it from water penetration.
The wall below, so the flashing would come, so you see the hatch brick, which is rebuilding up the parapet wall. The waterproofing would come down in front of that, and then when you get to that level of the limestone band to remain, that flashing would then turn out.
Yes, so as it goes up the wall behind the cornice piece, how is that fastened or applied?
The
Yeah,
the membrane itself.
yeah, well, if it's a membrane, yes.
Yeah, so that's adhered. So the mason will be a smooth finish. The membrane is self-adhered membrane, that's the SA.
Okay.
And then that framework that will pick up the cornice piece itself gets fastened in through the membrane. They'll seal over those fasteners. It's also, pitched in, it's technically they say it's self-sealing when you do penetrate it, but I always have them seal over just for belt and suspenders.
Okay, I got it. So thanks very much for that explanation.
Okay.
All right, if there are no other, we'll ask the public. Is there anybody from the public who has a question? No raised hands, so that's it. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you
your
very much.
application.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Page is started on Bethune Street. To modify approval to replace existing greenhouse on the south side of the terrace in kind and to include installation of a residential elevator in the eastern portion of the greenhouse to extend upwards to serve all floors of the townhouse. From the drawings, this is not a terribly accurate description. So once we have the presentation, I'll alter it to show the true position of the elevator. Thank you. You can.
We have the applicant here in person, so please sit here and join us. Do you have your application ready to share?
I'm doing it.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mark.
I'm Charles Henkels. I'm the architect for 39 Bethune Street. We're returning to modify the approval for a replacement of the 30-year-old greenhouse, which was approved by the commission a while ago. The owner is an older person, and his health is leading to require an elevator in the house, and this will allow him to remain in the house. So it's important to him. We propose to modify, do you want to?
Just say next slide when you're ready.
Oh, next slide, yeah. Next slide. We have good historical information. The townhouse was associated with the Pickwick House, which is a large loft building to the left of the townhouse. Next slide. And next slide. Next slide. So the Pickwick House blocks the sight lines entirely from the east, and the adjacent townhouses to the west at the corner of Washington Street in the upper right block the sight lines from the west. Next slide. Oh, next. Yeah. Okay, it's a little more complicated from Washington Street. These views are from the roof of the Pickwick House looking down, and you can see on the left side above the landscaped roof is the Liechtenstein Foundation building, Whitney. And the subject townhouse is out of the shot at the bottom right. And the configuration of the adjacent buildings blocks the sight lines from Washington Street. Next slide. This is the most extreme view from Washington Street. And
enlarge this, please. Whoever's running this slide.
The dark red is the wall of the Pickwick House, and you can see that the townhouse to the left of this slot blocks 39 Bethune Street entirely, and the Liechtenstein building blocks 39 Bethune Street from the south. So there's no visibility of this from any public way. Next slide. Do you want to do the full zoom? Okay, this is greenhouse that would be replaced. It's single glazed, leaks, needs to be replaced. And there's a roof terrace there that would get resurfaced. Next slide.
Sir, was this an approved or existing at the time of designation, the greenhouse?
It would have been approved when the townhouse was converted to a single-family residence. It used to be the offices for
Okay, but it was since designation
uh,
of the district.
both the original
The
renovations.
landmarks, the question is, the Landmarks Commission has made a prior approval of this.
Yes, maybe a year and a half ago.
I think.
And the original greenhouse was approved by them years ago. Next slide.
Yes.
Okay, the aerial view shows that it is visible from a few of the adjacent buildings through their rear windows. The subject site is the one outlined in red, but there's no visibility from a public way. Next slide. This is the subject site in white, and you see that the visibility is cut off by the buildings highlighted in red, which are tall. Next slide. So we're proposing modifying the atrium, which was existing from 30 years ago, to put the elevator in the atrium. You see the layout is such that the stairs at the middle of the townhouse, very tight. There really isn't a suitable place to put the elevator within the volume of the historic townhouse. Next slide. This is at the first floor level. Again, the elevator would fit within the atrium and access all 4 stories that he uses. Next slide. This is the top floor looking down on the greenhouse that would be replaced.
Excuse me, sir. Is there a microphone open? We're getting a lot of noise together with the gentleman.
I'm going to close the door to the conference room. I think the noise is coming from the lobby of the building. Got it? Okay, thank you.
It might be the heater.
Okay.
Rendering of what it would look like?
Yes.
Here, it's coming up.
Next slide. The sight lines are such that the townhouse blocks the sight lines from the streets. Next slide. Next slide. And it also, the sight lines are blocked by the adjacent buildings. Next slide. Okay, the glazing would be steel, painted black, factory black finish with insulated fire-rated glazing. This shaft would have to be 2-hour fire-rated, so it's special steel framing with fire-rated glazing. Next slide. The steel structural columns at the corners. Next slide. Stucco walls. Next slide. So the left is the existing greenhouse, and the right is the proposed elevator going up through the section is cut through the kitchen level at the first floor, which is an extension under the terrace. And it extends up to the top floor, which is where the owner has his bedroom. It would be a steel framed fire-rated glass with off-white stucco to match the currently parched, stucco over the original brick. Little copper roof. Identifying it as an addition like the greenhouse to the original townhouse, which is pretty much intact otherwise. Next slide, please. This is a section through the shaftway. And the greenhouse would be, as originally proposed, would be a little smaller. Next slide, please.
So, sir, while we're on this slide, to be clear, because it's getting a little confusing, the proposal essentially chops off the western side of the approved greenhouse, and that's why it's before us, correct?
Yes, the eastern portion of the greenhouse, yeah.
Eastern, sorry.
Now, the heavy line at the right actually is the party wall of the independent wall of the Pickwick House. So there's a little bit of a slot there between the two buildings, but there's no visibility. It's only 30 inches wide, the full depth of the property.
Okay.
And begins at the second floor.
Can I, with that slide up, can you just ask, there's no overrun, what is that term, overrun for the?
No, there's not. It's a
Hydraulic.
no, it's a pulley system, but it doesn't require an overrun.
It's not going that many.
The machinery would be at the cellar level, and the east wall, actually in this section, if you look closely, the east wall is concrete block, and the whole elevator runs on rails attached to that wall. But that wall abuts the Pickwick House, and
I get it.
so there are no windows there. There's no visibility. But it allows us to make the other two walls have glazing, which is
I think it's
important
good, I like it.
to the owner. The owner uses, the second floor is his study, and he spends most of his time in a study where his computer is and things like that. And he likes the light coming into that space. That's why he's, replacing the greenhouse. Next slide, please. The windows. Next slide. Next slide. And the greenhouse would be factory black, which would match the existing windows in the townhouse, which are painted wood, and an off-white stucco to match the parging on the rear elevation of the house.
Can I ask, what was the roof of the elevator? It seemed to be green, is it copper?
Copper, yes, natural copper. It would be allowed to patina to green.
To green, yeah. Gotcha.
Okay, is that it?
Any other questions?
Thank you. All right, Chanel.
Yes, the first question, sorry for my camera. Is there, are the things you're showing us all about the visibility renderings, and there's no mock-up of anything?
No, nothing is visible from the street, so.
No, I'm asking if there was a mock-up or if these are all renderings.
Oh, these are just drawings, yeah.
Okay.
There's no mock-up, no.
Generally, we ask for a mock-up even if things don't show, so that it's clear that they don't show. But carry on, please. Susan.
Brian, you had your hand raised, I think.
Thank you, Susan. Well, first of all, I thought that this was a very clever and well thought out solution. And the fact that it's doesn't have that overhead or the taller roof allows it to be practically invisible from all sides. The question that I had was, well, I got two questions. The first one is on the plans, 10, 11, and so on, where you, it's not clear to me where the Pickwick House wall and other things are. And so that's a little confusing. I know there's a little space between this new elevator placement and the Pickwick wall, as you said, but I don't see it in your plans.
We utilize the original masonry openings of the third line of windows for the doors. We didn't want to disturb the brick bearing wall, well, it's not a bearing, bracing wall of the rear elevation. So that's why the elevator is a little bit to the west of the
Yes,
east wall of the townhouse.
well, I appreciate that. I think that's part of the cleverness of the solution. But where is the Pickwick wall?
Okay, in these drawings, you see there's a heavy line to the right of the townhouse. It's 30 inches away from the east wall of the townhouse.
Okay, you're showing me an elevation or a section. I'm looking at page 12, where it seems, it just is confusing.
I think it's that dotted line, Brian.
I'm sorry, it is a very confusing building. There are some spaces in that 30 inches at the first floor. There's a closet down there and things like that. It belongs to this townhouse at the first floor, but it doesn't go above
this townhouse. Well, maybe that. Oh, I see on page 11 where on that level, it makes a lot of sense. But when you go up from that floor 1 to floor 2 on page 12, suddenly that part of the building is missing.
Well, it doesn't exist at this level. But you see there are two short walls that go across to Pickwick House.
Yes.
And in the early 20th century, there were hallways. And that is still standing, and that space is not accessible. It's just, it's there.
I see. You say it's about 30 inches or less than that?
It spans 30, there's 30 inches between the two buildings, yeah.
Okay, it's almost like the old-fashioned horse walk from the front to the back, but there's no door and there's no way to get in there. All right, and so in fact, on page 13, the floor plan, the heavy black line at the bottom of the plan is the Pickwick House wall.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, then my other question, thanks for that. My other question is on the glazing for the new elevator shaft. And I'm wondering if putting the glazing on the exterior face so that it's flush, whether that's, first of all, that seems to be very contemporary looking and very, it's not at all reflective of the typical historic glazing. And I'm just asking the question then, is there any option to inset that within the wall thickness so you have a little bit of shadow line?
We possibly could, but the building department is calling for this to be 2-hour fire rated. And
90 minutes but they're not operable.
Yeah, well,
Minutes
that's a big problem. It's going to add an enormous cost to the owner, and we're trying to keep, providing masonry around the steel columns seems really unnecessary. In fact, since there's an open stair the full height of the townhouse, the whole fire rating of the elevator is really just to satisfy the building department. It doesn't provide, really significant protection to anybody, but that's what we have to do, it looks like.
So is this whole thing going to be lit up at night?
No. No,
It's gonna look pretty
no. He just, the cab will be lit and it has windows in the cab. So when he goes up and down in its elevator,
It's like the hotel,
yeah. But
Portman's
mostly
Hotel.
it's for him to look out.
What
when
are the interior dimensions of the elevator?
It's limited.
Looks pretty small.
It is. It's just big enough for a wheelchair with an attendant. And we've been to the showroom and we've maneuvered all this with his attendants and stuff, and it just works. But one of the things that we didn't want to disturb the structure of the existing terrace above the kitchen, which is framed in wood. And we didn't want the elevator shaft to bear on the structure of that existing wood framing, which shows no signs of distress, but it's an existing condition. We've done probes, we've investigated, it looks fine, but we didn't want to put additional weight on it. And this glass is going to be very heavy. And we'll have to provide a foundation under the elevator shaft.
I think that's a good idea, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I found one more question. The parging that you spoke about is matching. Where can you show us where this is?
Yes, the photographs might be page 8, something like that. It's a cementitious parging, and it's applied directly to the brick.
Where is it applied?
It's the whole. See the. Can you see the photos, Chanel? The back wall is all parged with cementitious.
Yeah, I see.
Coating.
You spoke about matching something new with it.
That would be just color. The new will be stucco.
Where is that?
Sorry, again?
Where is the stucco?
Mostly at the corners and the wall towards Pickwick House. Where we don't have windows, it will all be stucco.
I see, just patching, as it were.
Okay. Right.
So can I just say, are you creating an entrance to the elevator in that bay where those windows are?
That's exactly it. Yeah. And there's a similar bay at the first floor and down at the cellar level. So it'll line up.
All right, Eugene has a question. Go ahead, Eugene. Where is he? Oh, he's a participant. He should be panelist.
Allow him to talk.
Yeah, I'm going to promote him to panelist.
Oh, look at that.
He's in the end club now.
Sorry, Eugene, I didn't realize you had arrived. Okay.
Hi, sorry about that. Yeah, I was actually just trying to get elevated to be a panelist. Thank you. I didn't have a question.
Oh, okay.
You should have taken the elevator.
Oh, but I'm bummed. All right, Anita.
Yeah, question. So you're losing the bubble and you're now going to have a flat roof over
yes,
the greenhouse?
it's insulated glazing now. And the bubble is single glazing. And also it's kind of dated.
Well, very 70s, I know. Yeah. So it's going to be a flat, straight slope, and it's going to be glass on that as well.
Correct.
And this is north or south facing? What is
it faces south, but there's not a whole lot of light there.
Yes, they get kind of now. Right, well, I'm done.
Okay. Anybody from the public wishes to speak, please raise a hand. Don't see any.
I have a question. Just
yes,
curious,
Sean.
How long has this person, applicant, lived in the building?
About 15 or 20 years. He loves the neighborhood, doesn't want to move.
So what was the Pickwick House? Just a commercial building?
It has an amazing history. One of the photos, the historic photos, shows when it was the Beale Millworking Company. And Beale was a very sophisticated maker of millwork for things like the Smithsonian Museum, and McKinley and White used them, and all these famous things. And it was a big millwork shop during its heyday. But in later years, it became the Pickwick Paper Company. And Pickwick bought this townhouse to use as their offices. And that's why we have these connections, which are all sealed now. But there were connections at the first floor and the third floor level between the buildings. Yeah. And they're physically still there.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
Thanks for your presentation. Thank you.
That would seem to invite lateral expansion of the house to grab part of Pickwick House. Very stylish thing to do with two houses.
Sure.
Hey,
Thank you.
Thank you. This was quite nice.
All right, thank you.
I'll be calling on you when I get more feeble and require the same thing.
I think we all want to lift. So we're on to 230 West 11th.
Applications to construct a rooftop addition, modify the existing rear addition and rear facade window openings, and replace the windows at the front facade. Sir, I've been reviewing your application. Are you going to give an introduction and then detail each part separately?
Yes. Hi, my name is Jonathan Taylor. I'm with Higgins Quates Bartham Partners Preservation Consultants. I'm gonna present sort of some introductory material in the presentation. Ian Starling, who's here, the architect for the project, is going to go through the details. I do want to just state one thing about the scope. It was calendared as a window replacement on the front facade as part of the hearing scope because previously there was a
Could you
proposal.
speak just a little slower?
Oh, I'm sorry. Previously, it was proposed that the front windows be metal-clad wood windows, which would have required a public hearing, and that's why that was listed as part of the scope under public hearing review and before you. But the project is going to have wood windows, meeting staff rules on the front facade, so that's actually not a piece of what we're going to present today.
And that's true of everything in the front facade.
That's right. Yeah, I mean on the historic facade. Yeah. The replacement of the existing windows.
Okay, carry on, please. Thank you.
All right. Anyway, again, my name is Jonathan Taylor. I'm here with Ian Starling. The house is 230 West 11th Street in the Greenwich Village Historic District on the south side of West 11th between Waverly and Place and West 4th. You may recognize that a proposal for this property was presented in 2024, and the committee recommended approval for that project in February 2024. It was not carried out. The house has a new owner, and so we're coming to you with a new proposal that has a lot of similar or analogous components, but a different design. And it actually also reduces the extent of intervention in some important respects. And so we'll go through that. Just a quick overview of the history of the house. It's an Italianate house with a brick front and brownstone trim, built in 1860. It's not part of a row of houses. It's sort of a one-off between a pair of earlier houses to the east and the church to the west. You can see that in these historic photos and the designation photo. The facade is largely intact, except the molded stone trim on the front facade was shaved back sometime prior to designation. A few historic maps showing the development of the block. The introduction of the church and of some industrial commercial buildings on the street behind kind of bisected the donut of the block, but there's still kind of a significant half donut on our half of the block. And you also see all the row houses on this part of the block have always historically had rear extensions of one sort or another. This is a current block plan of this half of the block with the different heights of buildings and extensions and back building even. Again, most of the houses have rear extensions, most of which are actually deeper than ours. some existing photos. These two photos were taken, I think, in late summer. You'll see our mock-up photos were actually taken, the other day, so they're a better representative of the visibility to the house and to the roof without foliage. These are some current views of the rear facade. As I mentioned, there's the church there to the west. There's an existing rear addition, two-story rear addition that's of sort of modern construction, modern design. I think the last CB2 resolution called the window patterns of it random, which I think is fair, I guess. But it has a sort of a brick-clad portion, as you can see, and then this glass and metal sort of solarium portion at the left. These are just a couple detail photos of the rear facade. The top windows, we are proposing a modest increase in the height of the top floor windows. So these close-up photos of those. And at the lower right, you can also just see this is showing that above that sort of solarium addition, some of the brick that's existing there, a lot of it is, I think, newer brick matching the existing addition. So there might have been a higher extension there previously. And that was removed and the brick replaced. A little bit of context of the other houses on this block front. You can see, as I mentioned, the R230 is not a part of a row, so there's some variety across the rear facades. The two houses next door were originally built together, but had some modifications. The one next door has one of them is a drop sill to be like a French door out to a balcony. Two doors down, the house was historically expanded vertically with the mansard at the front, so it has another floor. So there's not really like a consistent, pattern of window sizes or locations next to us. And these are views just to the other side of the block. As I mentioned, there's this very large building directly behind us. And a back building to the east, but nevertheless, a very nice block interior. Some views of the existing roof. There is a proposed roof addition. Right now, there's this skylight at the roof that's looking on the left, looking towards the front from the back, and on the right, looking back towards the rear yard. Looking east and west to the east at the neighboring house, there is I think relatively recently constructed roof deck, stair bulkhead, mechanical equipment. I think that was all approved in a staff level application. And then to the right, of course, is the large church and chimney. And so I'm just going to speak to the general overview of the scope with a couple of images and then turn it over to Ian. So these are existing aerial views that'll sort of correspond to the proposed views I'm about to show, just for clarity. So at the left is viewing aerial view sort of from the front, and to the right, obviously, from the back. So again, yeah, a small one-story rooftop addition that's designed to be virtually not visible from the street. There's very limited visibility, which we'll show you. There are some chimney reconstruction and extensions in connection with this, which is somewhat typical. There's some small mechanical equipment located on the roof in front of the addition with a little screen separating it from the window there, which are not going to be visible. Also, with regard to the front facade, there will be some facade restoration. The window replacement I mentioned with new wood windows to match, LPC staff rules, as well as restoration of the brownstone trim. So that's also staff level work, but we just want to let you know that's happening. And then here at the back, a modification of that, basically reconstructing the existing rear addition, sort of keeping it with these two parts, kind of glass house part, and then the brick part, the current modern brick part replaced with something that's clad in stone with steel infill. And there is a slight expansion to the size of the addition. The glass part, the glass and steel part at the left will come out 2 feet. So just a portion of the rear addition is extended 2 more feet. The solid volume is actually decreasing in height because instead of having a solid parapet for fall protection at the 3rd floor, it's a railing. And then in terms of rear facade modifications, we have lengthening I guess you call it 2nd floor windows maybe, or one of them is already goes to the ground to be access to the addition terrace. So dropping another sill, and then the third one with the Juliet balcony. And then at the top floor, as I mentioned, sort of smaller lengthening of the windows, much less sort of perceptible. But in conjunction with that, in order to do that, we need to sort of raise the height of the rear facade slightly. So this would involve slightly reconstructing just the top portion of the rear facade, and then there would be a railing at the rear facade. There is a slight change to the grade of the backyard. And I will mention, it's not part of this presentation because it's all staff level. There is some excavation work. It is a significant reduction from the excavation work shown in the 2024 project, such that it meets staff level rules now and eliminates any underpinning of the neighbors. So that's just a.
Are you saying that the staff is able to approve all of the excavation?
That they have confirmed that, yes. Because it's much less than the previous, and there's no underpinning of neighbors.
No underpinning at all, that sort of stuff.
Okay, so with that, I'll let Ian sort of show these in a little bit more detail. Thank you. If you can unmute, or I don't know if he needs to unmute, or if someone needs to unmute him. There you go.
That's me, on me. Thanks, Jonathan, appreciate it. Yeah, my name is Ian Starling, as Jonathan mentioned, and I'd like to thank the committee for allowing me to elaborate on the design, or on our design of the house at 230 West 11th. I'm going to just go through each element of the design, kind of comparing the existing condition to the proposed condition. And the primary facade, as Jonathan said, we are replacing the existing windows with wood windows and restoring the brownstone trims above each window. We are also sort of adding a roof addition, like Jonathan said, with regards to the rear extension. This roof addition will be clad in stone, and we'll have this curved bay window, sort of reminiscent of a lot of the bay windows in the neighborhood. There's also a mechanical space buffered by a non-visible screen. The roof top extension is at exactly 55 feet. As part of the rooftop extension, we are leveling the roof and adding sort of a roof deck over the whole expanse of the roof. Next, looking at the secondary facade at the rear of the building.
Excuse me, it's becoming difficult to hear. Is there, you have where you are, or is?
Yeah, sorry, there's just the train passed by our office. So on the left side, you can see the existing condition. Jonathan described this already, and then on the right is our proposed design. Starting from the bottom, you have the level of the basement garden level going down by 1 foot relative to the existing condition. You have a rebuilt sort of extension of virtually the same proportion as the existing condition, with sort of a double height glazed expanse. And then on the west side of the house, you have a protruding bay that sticks out 2 feet into the rear yard and has an arched form at the top. Moving up, you have the solid parapet of the existing condition, in our proposed condition, being replaced by steel railings, and then the windows are all going to be lowered to the same level as the window on the right, basically floor level, to allow you to step out onto the terrace. In the case of the middle window and the eastern window, and then on the western window, opening onto that Juliet balcony, and then the windows on the top floor Those will be extended from 4.6 to 5.9. And associated with that extension, we will need to rebuild just the cornice at a higher elevation. On the top penthouse level, the roof, as I said, is being flattened, and there's a parapet wall that's being built, recessed from the plane of the historic facade. And then there'll be an open steel railing there. And on the penthouse itself will be clad in stone, and the windows will be a steel system. Next slide, please. This view shows the...
There's so much, I want to get a couple of details. Just back up one slide, please.
Sure.
The windows that are being replaced at the top floor appear to be of historic opening. What is the size of the new ones?
The new opening is 5'9", which is the exact same height as the windows in the front of the house on this level. In the historic opening is 4'6".
Right, so and you're preserving the top and the width. Yeah, okay. So 5'9". Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So these elevations show the current condition, rear elevations in adjacent buildings, and then the proposed condition elevations. What you can see here is just on these elevations, our building actually has the smallest sort of historic windows, so we're not really doing anything out of sort of the rhythm of the block by increasing the window height on this top floor. And you can see the sort of the relative proportions of all of our interventions compared to the neighbors. Here's a longitudinal section of the existing structure, showing the existing extent of the building with the pitched roof, existing extension depth, and existing cellar depth. Next, this shows our proposed section with the excavation of the cellar and extension of the cellar to match the sort of like extent of the existing rear extension. Kind of what we're proposing is our rear extension. It shows the extent of the modified rear extension, the modified window openings. As you can see, sort of header heights on the top windows are aligned to the header heights of the front windows, the leveling of the roof, and then the penthouse above. Yeah. This is a cross section of the building showing the existing condition versus our proposed condition. Next, a plan of the roof, existing roof plan on the left, proposed roof plan on the right, showing the extent of our rooftop penthouse, the location of the mechanical equipment, and the location of the screen at the front of the house. And then zoomed in elevations at the front and rear of the rooftop extension. And then a detail of the existing parapet and cornice at the rear of the house versus the proposed, showing that the guardrail and parapet wall are set back relative to the existing plane of the rear facade. Next. And this shows the existing basement plan and then our proposed basement plan. As you can see, sort of the primary line of the basement plan shows consistency with the existing. And then on the west side where our stair is, there's a 2-foot projection into the rear yard. So that's the extent of the sort of modification of the depth of the extension. Next. And then a zoomed in elevation of the extension. Sure.
Sorry.
I think, yeah.
And I'm just going to jump back in. What I want to do just quickly is kind of because it wasn't long ago that the committee saw a proposal. I just want to sort of compare some things where we think we've kind of improved on the previous proposal in terms of some landmarks considerations. So these are comparisons of what was shown to the committee in 2024 and conditionally approved by LPC and what we're doing now. And so this was the previous roof addition, which was a mechanical bulkhead. Obviously, it wasn't as wide as ours, but it was much larger in a different direction, which we'll see in a moment, which made it more visible. Also, they were raising their roof higher, which meant that they needed a front railing, which was visible, whereas our roof will not be so high, and then the existing front parapet serves as the sort of guard at the front. So that's a good thing to eliminate. And from the rear, you can see the same thing. You can sort of see how their roof was being raised so much higher. And they were also they were proposing to expand the rear yard addition in a different way, just sort of making it more regular all the way across. This is a sort of comparison through the sections, and you can sort of see the size of the previously proposed rooftop addition. As I mentioned, they had this very extensive subcellar excavation, which we're not doing, and therefore not bringing to the hearing. This roof plan, you can see the previous rooftop construction, which was much larger front to back, and that made it more visible. So this one is designed to be smaller and oriented in a way to reduce visibility. And so I'll go through the mock-up pictures right now. So these are photos at the front of the building. So you can see on the right, looking straight over the building, there's nothing visible. When you move a little bit to the east here, you can see the top of the chimney extension only. This is hard because of the trees and branches, but from the west, again, there's a little bit of a pop-up of the chimney extension and the flue. Similarly, from going towards Waverly from the opposite side of the street, you see this is a mock-up on the left, and this is rendered in on the right. And then the only time you really see any of the addition itself, if you sort of stand against the building across of Waverly at the corner, it's kind of hard to make out in the photo, but there's the chimney, and then the top roof line of the addition, maybe its cornice. It's certainly less than a foot of it, kind of paralleling the roof line there. So that's the extent of the addition visibility. And then this is a view over the low church building on Waverly towards the back, where we've mocked up the rear railing, and the railing is the only thing that comes into visibility. This is obvious. This is orange netting. Obviously, a slender steel railing is not going to be quite very visible at all. And you can see to the right is the rather visible rear roof deck and railing of the neighbor that actually received staff approval. So that's what we have, and I'm happy to take any questions.
I wanted to go back to one thing, to the penthouse, whatever shows it overall this.
This is the front and back of it. Is that good? Or do you want to?
And go to the next one.
Next. Let's see. Do you want the?
Yeah, no, the plan was good.
Okay, that was the first floor plan. Let me go to the the roof plan,
the
right?
Plan of the rooftop.
Of the roof. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's clear from what was said. And just what are the dimensions of it?
So let's see, the front to back of the main front and back walls looks like it's what, 14.2, Ian, is that right there, the string?
What is the depth?
14 feet 2 inches. And then it does have this little sort of bay window in front. Ian, how?
Right, yeah, I see that, I'll note that. And,
You're muted. Oh.
height,
2-foot projection.
So this is 2 feet for this little bay in the front.
okay, and the height of the penthouse.
10'8". Ian, is that floor to?
That's the whole height.
The whole height from the roof surface to the top of its roof is 10'8".
Yeah, it's how much, it's the bulk we're after.
Yeah.
And the full width.
Yep.
It's actually not quite the full width.
I'll gather other
but
questions, I'm sure, as the committee goes. I've lost sound.
Oh, okay. Are you done, Charlotte?
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah.
I think no one was talking.
All right. Anita?
Yeah, while we're on this plan, I'm curious, how do you satisfy the fire department requirements of getting from the front to the back?
Ian, you're muted.
It'll be over the middle with a ladder.
Oh.
You're gonna have a ladder somewhere there?
Yeah, we'll add that to our drawings before the LPC hearing.
Sorry about that.
And do you have a plan of the roof of the penthouse, if you will? Is there mechanical equipment on that roof?
There's no mechanical equipment on that roof.
The equipment's all here on this lower roof.
Okay. That's it? Okay, Bo? Eugene or Brian, do you have anything?
No, I don't.
Nope.
Anita, back to
Yeah,
you.
I just have could you just show me the, what is it, double height glass structure that's in the back? How does that relate to the inside of the building? Is that like one big opening or in the masonry wall? Structure on the left.
Yeah, so it's one big opening.
Which it largely is now, right? I mean,
it's sort of one of the things that our clients fell in love with when they saw the house was sort of the massing of the rear yard, even though it's a bit dated. And so we were looking to sort of preserve that feel within the house. And so this is located at the like at a stair that goes down to the lower, from the parlor level to the garden level at the rear of the house.
In terms of historic fabric of the rear, existing historic fabric of the rear facade, will anything be removed that wasn't, I mean, it looks like you're just changing what was already there, but I just want to confirm that.
In terms of the extension, the existing extension, there's not historic fabric. And, there will be the removals for lowering the sills at the second floor windows. And what's proposed at the top floor again is to, with a slight raising of the windows, to salvage and reinstall the brick that's up there, including the corbelling at the top. And there'll have to be a little bit of new brick to match that goes in there. But in terms of the rear extension, there's no historic fabric that's being affected by removing that addition.
Great, thank you. All right, is there
I have
anybody?
one more, just to be clear about this. Could you go to the section, please? I don't ever recall excavation not coming before us. So could we know exactly what it is that the staff proposes to approve?
Yeah, well, staff rules allow lowering the grade of an existing cellar up to a certain amount, as long as you're keeping the cellar height less than 10 feet floor to ceiling. And so part of it is which I don't know if we're lowering that bottom floor. Yeah, we are a little bit, but it's
Yeah,
remaining.
by 1 foot. Yeah.
Yeah. Staff rules also allow, extending the cellar to underneath to the extent of an existing or proposed rear addition. And so in this case, the cellar doesn't go under the current rear addition, but it will go under the reconstructed one. Then, as you can see here, there's a very, very small pool in the middle of the cellar. Because this is like a discrete element within this overall excavation scope, staff has said that that can be included as well. But
And
there
the pool
are staff
is
rules
clear of
for.
the sidewalks.
Sorry?
The pool is clear of the
It's very,
sidewalks.
it's not very wide at all, so it's not anywhere near the neighboring wall. So
The extension and the existing is being made deeper. Is that benched or is it to be underpinned, or what happens? What happens on each side with this?
So there's no underpinning on the two sides. There's some underpinning of our existing rear foundation, but the way we design these foundations, maybe it's better to look back at that cross section, Jonathan, is that the extents of the existing foundation walls are preserved, and we are benching out off of them.
Okay, that's the question. So
Yeah.
that in one way or another, it's well clear of the property line.
Yes.
Okay, we'll just mention that because
Thank you.
it's really the first time I've ever seen one that didn't happen to conform to this regulation. Okay. Thank you. Is everyone, sorry, the public?
Yeah, let's see if there's anyone from the public who would like to comment or question. Please raise your hand if you are here for the question. We don't see any hands, so that's it. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for your time.
Very welcome.
Now the machine goes off.
It's so annoying.
Interesting that this building was completely gutted.
With new structure, new floor joists,
Yeah, probably the previous one got that far and gave up.
and then ran out of money.
Well, that's the reason to give up, I guess.
Yeah.
King Street, we don't permit that.
44, King? Oh, we're in executive now, right?
Yes, we'll start our executive session now.
I'm gonna leave now.
I'm going to be next door if you need it.
Okay, thanks. Good night, Sean.
I explained about the preserving the historic memory. Is that not the case?
I'm lost. I don't know what we're talking
Okay, we're
about.
talking about 44 King Street, which is the second application that we saw, but the first on the agenda.
Yeah, okay, so that is the one.
It's the one where,
Which one is it for?
44 King Street.
The lengthen the top floor windows from their present historic.
Oh, I know, I know what it is, yeah. I think it's fine. I mean, they put it in nicely.
We've never done it. Why is it fine if we've never done it? That's the question.
You mean that they're
All
what,
about
taller?
precedent. Huh?
Yeah, but they
It's
didn't
one of
put
those
it,
things that doesn't look bad, but
well, people want more light.
it's not what we do.
What's he saying?
This has to do with these top windows in the back
Yeah.
are going to be enlarged, drop down lower to get more light in, apparently. But historically, these windows got smaller as they went up. So
Right.
that's the objection.
And also that we've not only the size, but the windows themselves to keep the historic reference to what the top, what the rear facade was before it was touched.
Brian, looks like you want to say something.
That any,
Yeah, well,
with this,
I
the
do-
break out.
I do understand the criteria that we've applied before, but I'm looking at this in context where all of the other, virtually every other townhouse in the donut has either extended or raised or modified that top floor. So I think that this is not, well, this is not something that I would reject.
Yeah, I'm with Brian on this.
You know, Chenault, I also agree with Brian and Anita on this one, although in the past, I mean, I think it doesn't mean that I don't think we should continue to take our position of maintaining the integrity of that top floor. But I just want to, but you know, in the past where we've really been very dedicated to protecting that, there've been cases where there was really a significant interruption to the rhythm of the rear facade, where all the other floors were just doing all kinds of crazy things, and we were just holding on for dear life to that top floor to tell us the story of what that building what had been. I think it's clear, I think that, you know, the story is still very clear, even with, it's a minor modification, and I don't think it really interrupts.
I'll just make a clause about why this is, the exception is being.
I think that would be a good thing to do, because I don't want to say, I would hate to think that by, recommending approval for this, that then we've opened the door to anything goes on top floors of rear facades. So if we could add something explaining the context of the rear of the other buildings and the, what all the other stuff that I just said, then I think we can, then I feel comfortable approving this.
And the people that are looking at it have the same thing, so they can't complain.
Yeah.
Well, for one thing, it's really tucked in, this rear facade. It's not highly visible, so that may not be good enough, but it's also, looking at the other windows, most of them have been enlarged. And it just doesn't bother me in this particular case.
Yeah.
Then moving on to 29 King Street. We have a King Street theme going.
Yeah. Very nice houses on King Street. Mm-hmm. What's the next?
Everybody's okay?
29 King was the operable glass doors on that rear.
Yeah.
And 75th Avenue for the dreaded G.
Let's back up to 29 King for a minute, Chenault, and make sure everybody is good with approval on that. Is everybody?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I am. This is Brian. I am.
Eugene?
I'm just looking through it now. Yeah, I think that looks fine.
Okay. All right. 75th Avenue.
The cornice.
This is the, this is the cornice. This is fine. I think it's like.
And I drill down on the,
That's totally
the big thing is the finish, and drilling down on that seemed to satisfy that in fact it will appear the same.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the goal, for sure. Will it? I don't know, but it's far enough away that it'll turn gray like everything else. And all our other dirty limestone.
And I think we can add something to the reso, just, some concern about that and asking for commission verification that,
One thing I would point out, Chenault, is that it's especially easy to approve because it's the entire thing. The whole cornice, it's not etching.
Right, so you know it'll match.
Yeah, oh, that's even worse.
And that's a big problem elsewhere when they do a little piece here and there. This one,
I think the reason I'm so driven about this, at the corner of Waverly Place and Spring, and Waverly Place and 10th Street, where I pass every day, is a pair of row houses that look like it was just put up in whatever the raw finish from the factory is.
Mm-hmm.
This shiny, glazy thing.
Yeah.
oh, it doesn't fool me for a second.
And also,
Really,
this is
you
not
can see.
all
I
for
like
me.
the real thing, but here it makes sense. There's no question. No question that we want a lighter material since the whole facade is being crushed by.
Yeah,
very
I mean,
heavy
it's actually, I mean,
Makes
it's a
sense.
preservation effort to do this. So,
Right,
Yeah, we're good.
it is.
And also, Brian pointed out it's up in the heavens.
Yeah, it's up high, and that makes a big difference in how you perceive it. That it's the entire cornice, and it's up whatever,
150 feet.
150 feet. Oh, man, with the,
So we're agreed all on this. Can move on.
Yes.
yep.
Bethune Street, I'll modify the application because it's not correct to be what was presented, which was intentional all along. It was just very badly worded. I don't have anything to say about it bad.
I think it's good.
Yeah, I thought it was very good. Well designed.
I thought it was very well designed also, yeah.
It is perfect for my house, which is even more hidden because it's tucked in beside a building that touches it. So here we go. I'm sorry to hear about the expensive fire rating. West 11th Street.
oh, look at how fine.
From that circular presentation, I've tried to get it in some order. So if I may, I'll read the various components as I've written them, and we'll comment on them one by one. The front staff approval and the existing rear yard addition to maybe deeper and the assorted window configuration. Is that all acceptable? That curved one's sort of weird, but
Oh, I don't love it, but it's not visible,
Yeah, I don't like it either.
but it's not visible. I mean, it's so, pick our battles, I think.
it's not.
Yeah.
And it does align with the other buildings where the railing is, but it's a very odd
It's
style.
very odd. Where did that style come from?
No, I'm not.
Well, it's a kind of
Hodgepodge.
grand, it's a little
Grand,
grand for a
grand.
basic
It's
row
right,
house. I mean, I
right.
think that's what,
That's
but that's an
exactly right.
aesthetic objection, and for a rear yard addition that won't be seen from the public thoroughfare. But I mean, just while we're talking about it, I think that's probably what is making folks bristle on
Right,
this
right,
one,
that's
is
right.
that it's,
Grand.
you know,
That's the word.
It doesn't look so great now,
but, you know,
so,
what's there is horrible.
yeah,
So,
it's,
My comment, I was the building not far away on 11th Street, the other end of the block. If you recall, the one that gave onto the little private garden area.
yeah, bleaker,
The
right, that one.
we sort of glazed over the glazing and the extension, and the commission spent more time and energy on that than any other part of the application.
What about taking over square feet?
If commissions get livid, they were livid.
really, interesting.
That was a question of intrusion also, but that wasn't really their thing. Their thing was
I don't know, that seems kind of a cop-out when that was the issue.
that it was changing the character of the design of what was there. and not original, but of a certain period and artistically done, presumably. However, I'm comfortable if
On 230 West 11th, is it
they can battle out
visible?
the curve.
Are we sure it's not visible?
Well, they had mock-ups.
All right, just asking.
Yeah, on the roof, you're talking about the rooftop
Yeah.
edition.
Well,
There
no,
was
wait,
some
wait, first.
visibility, there
Not
was
much.
modest,
Go in
very,
order.
Very little.
I mean, this was truly a case of minimal.
Yeah, very
It's a
little.
No, no, we're not there yet.
Oh,
The second, all the full-length windows, all the windows up and the top floor reproducing the size of the front window, which is clearly a historic proportion of a window. The top floor.
right.
It's again lengthening, but not to a non-historic end.
Right, right.
Okay, the penthouse. I know that it's 14 2 inches high and 10 feet 8 inches deep. Now, what does anybody want to say about it?
You know, I find it unusual that they clad it with stone, but I like it, and I think it's very minimally visible, but I think it is a nice character.
Yeah.
I agree.
And their modification to the rear cornice, I'll put that back up in the part about the wall. And I'm still just mystified about this. I didn't even know that there was any provision for staff approving excavation, but apparently this fits. So we'll take note of it since we always hear it.
I guess because it sounded like because it's only a 1 foot excavation, that is what makes it,
Well, I'm assuming it's because it's minimal in
that,
their eyes. but-
that makes it.
I understand it. I just never heard it. Maybe nobody's
No.
ever excavated 1 foot before. So
Right,
It wasn't that carefully articulated in the drawing, so we could assume that.
right.
So I don't really know if it involves underpinning and how much, and it was not all that clear to me, looking at the drawings. It
Mhm.
should be clearer. But I think you should put in your standard concerns. Just
Yeah, Chanel, you'll
Oh, yeah.
include our usual language on this, yes?
about the excavation.
Yeah,
Oh, tons, yes.
yeah, okay.
I'm curious that there's not an elevator in this building. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're not wrong. There
Well,
is
they're
no.
going to tack one on the back eventually or put it in the extension. That's very strange.
Well, they have
Move on, but
they
it's hard
seem to
to-
have 2 young children that get their own bedrooms, and with the pool, I guess they're young enough to not be worried about the elevator.
Okay, we I don't think of any we have set the date for the unusual meeting next time, which again is the Monday before, not after this Thursday meeting. So please, everyone, note that. It's the West 4th Street. I've been very much in touch with the Merchant House people, so that we're organized about what to do, and I will be with the applicant so that we have careful plans laid out.
And what's the date for that next meeting?
The Monday before our Thursday, whatever date. The 9th rings a bell.
That's the 9th, Brian.
Okay.
And Chenault, am I correct that it's 5 PM?
I think we should keep it that. It's we expect a vast number of people from the public.
Sure.
I was reassured that Mark says we can indeed limit the testimony to 1 minute, and we'll do a survey Um, even the day of, and I'll just announce it at the meeting.
I need to limit the people in this room.
And it's going to be in the conference room, so the vast majority of the speakers, Eugene, are going to be online.
Yeah, we were just talking about that in the room. We don't, if, you know, we can't have a lot of, this room won't accommodate a lot of people.
Right, this is on purpose, and ask Mark to be very clear that there was a cutoff and that people that don't sign up can't come.
Okay, good.
Up in time, can't come to the room. We can't have people standing around and yakking and
Coughing in this poorly ventilated room, yes.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You've aggravated my already bad. Carl.
Oh, no, I feel terrible. It's all my fault.
Don't say the C word.
All right.
Anything else?
Yeah, nice to see everybody.
To know where to do. I think we had a crowd.
All right.
tonight, yeah.
What was the?
All right. Good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, maybe you remember this. Do you remember when?
Your background's really good, Brian, on virtual.
Well, thank you. This is my painting studio.
Oh,
nice.
I don't know. I was going to ask you. God, I mean, we were all, we moved